Hello and welcome back to Laurence Plays for part 2 of my chat with Crethor, the author of the Foliax Planet mod. Today we're going to talk about constructive criticism, glowing ground and colourful construction. Let's jump straight back in where we left off. I was going to ask how the scope and objectives of the mod have changed from your initial vision, with the big rewrite being a sort of, obviously, of course, a major factor of that, but I think we've kind of covered a lot of that. But unless you have anything else you'd like to say about it, of course.
No, just bringing the scope down. Scope creep is the kind of a thing that people talk about. So sometimes you have to rein that back in.
Yeah.
Keep adding things and adding things. Sometimes you just need to discard some things.
Yeah, I do see you got the graphics of the background, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. These sort of blue cliffs. I hadn't noticed those. Yeah, they're now much sort of they feel much more alien. And as I was saying earlier, I quite like that. I think it makes the planet feel a bit more unique. I know you're saying that the terrain generation was different from Norvis, but I think with the basic landscape looking basically grass-like, it felt a lot more similar. And I have to say, I really like the way it looks now. It's very, very different, and that's a good feel.
Yeah. I went with the arcane kind of theme of the planet now, so everything's kind of blue. And I went with the lava tile on Volcanus, the basalt.
Okay, so it's a recolored
to replace
Volcanus
the grass.
with grass growing on it. Okay, that
Yeah.
explains
And
why
at
it looks
night-
different.
Instead of the lava coming through at night, the little places where lava would go through is actually like light blue and it glows. So it looks cool. But yeah, I went crazy with the arcane theme. Talendar kept telling me I need to have a theme, so with his coconut planet, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely a theme. Yeah, I have to say I like the look of it now, and I feel that making planets look unique and alien does very much add to the feel, because you want the planet, you want to be able to glance at a planet and go, oh yes, that's Foliax, and I think you've definitely got to that stage now. I think you had that to an extent before because of these sort of weeping willow type trees, or they're actually called willows. Excellent. They feel very different to other planets, perhaps because of the variety of colour, or perhaps I don't know. I don't remember seeing willows elsewhere. But I suspect
that's my own creation.
Oh, okay, that would explain why. So yeah, they look good and very unique for the planet.
And they glow at night. Oh, it's a light mask in my on the rewrite. So I recolored these tiles, or I redid these tiles, but it kept the same name, so that's why they changed.
Oh, okay.
But in the rewrite, there's another layer of light that's put over top of it.
Will that be when we switch over to that? Will we see the difference, or will it be we'd have to regenerate the planet?
No, it'll all adapt. I even have like migrations to change machines. So.
Ah, nice. Because that was one of the things I was going to ask about, actually. We're on the single planet universe version, as I described it, because that's what we built it up for. And until we're ready to go in and go in and spend some time moving stuff across and doing the upgrades, didn't want everything to break. Are there any sort of warnings you've got for us for when we do switch over to the new version?
Like the chips and stuff, all that can still use EM plants, so that's good. I would say you're just probably going to tear out things that you can't make here anymore.
Okay, that's not
And
too
maybe
bad.
Upgrade all the biochambers and start producing the new biochambers. And maybe the laser towers if you wanted to use those.
Yeah, they do sound like that'd be fun. Speaking of the circuits, well, one of the things that came up when I asked the others if they had anything they wanted to flag in the mod was how much we liked the alternative circuit recipes with the actually slightly more realistic, where you make a circuit board substrate and then you bring in some solder and perhaps some components and so on. It reminded me of Angel Bobs a bit, actually, where the advanced circuits have that same sort of process where you have to make all the bits and pieces for them. It felt like a nice upgrade in the requirements for making a circuit without making anything too difficult or unreasonable.
Yeah, and I tried to do that with all the recipes, like the flying robot frames right next door. Take in aluminum. I try to use my new materials, like the aluminum, tin, lead, and zinc. So I try to incorporate that a lot. And a lot of times when I was watching your stream, you would say that a recipe is silly, like maybe how you make fluorine. But the funny thing is that I went through Wikipedia for each thing, and I, browsed how each thing's kind of made in the industry, and then kind of transferred that to Factorio materials. So, you get jelly in the fluorine, but, fluorine has some kind of biological thing. So then the closest thing, I was like, all right, well, let's throw some jelly in there. So like the way you make steel, the way you make the fluorine, the way you make ammonia, like all that is my brief research on Wikipedia on how things are made, because I wanted to make them a little more realistic.
It's interesting. Okay. It's
taking an iron plate and copper and making a circuit's goofy, but
yeah.
And Another thing I don't like is the motors. That's why I have different motors, because the combustion engine doesn't take lube, but the electric engine takes lube. That's very
Yeah,
weird.
and the electric engine takes a combustion engine to make, which is that's
Yeah.
always struck me as weird as well. And I'm used to a bit of suspension of disbelief for gameplay reasons, but I guess in this case the fluorine, maybe this is an area where you've got better chemistry knowledge than me from doing the research. So something that seems weird actually makes sense, which is fair enough. I probably shouldn't be rude about things I don't know anything about.
It's fine. I just thought it was funny. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I actually put effort into that. Yeah, I like the big recipes. Like I said, I played the Atom mod pack, which was all the expansions or all the overhauls, and that had 7 things to make one thing, and then that one thing was part of another 7 things, and it was just a sprawling thing of machines, and I loved it. So I kind of calmed it down a little bit, but I kind of incorporated that in my recipe design.
Yeah, I do like that idea. Requiring more ingredients in the recipes does add a bit more interest to it. So I do like that idea. Were we the first people to play the mod sort of publicly, so on stream and talking about it as we were doing it, or have you had much feedback from other players or?
No, you guys were the first. I get feedback and like screenshots, and people are like, "Hey, this is awesome," or this is too much, too overpowered. One
Okay.
guy was talking about the laser turrets, and he like put them on his Prometheum ship, and then just plowed through the Prometheum fields like they were nothing. He's like, "This is overpowered, but it's awesome to watch."
Yeah, it's that tricky balance, isn't it, between something being overpowered enough to be awesome and being overpowered enough to be, well, just a bit overpowered.
Yeah, breaking the game, so it's not fun
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Game breaking is a good is a better way to phrase it. Yes.
Sidetrack, but like I was looking at like the boxes, the logistics boxes, and wanted to upgrade for those. And the pipes, you never used my brass undergrounds, which stretch farther than normal ones.
Oh, okay. We probably just didn't notice, so that's very worth knowing. We should probably switch over. They could probably be incredibly useful all over the solar system if they're a bit longer.
Yeah, they're 20, and I think the base one's like 10.
Wow, yeah, that's a huge difference. That'd be very very useful, especially on Pelagos, where there's a lot of places where you can't put down landfill, so the pipes can't go under as far as you'd like to. So that could be very useful there.
You guys didn't explore the soils too, but you can create the Foliax land on other planets and grow trees there.
Ah, yes, we did consider that a little bit, but a bit like using the cubium recipe to generate ores on other planets. I think we felt that using the Foliax trees to generate ores on other planets would be a bit overpowered and probably remove the intended feel from the other planets. So if you go over to a planet where, like Pelagos, for example, because that's the one we've been playing most recently, where you're intended to get the copper by going out and harvesting the copper splitters, that's a bit of a challenge. But if you could just drop in some Foliax copper trees and produce a steady supply of copper from those, it would short out quite a large quantity of the planet. A bit like you were saying with us going in with electrical agricultural towers and the foundries for making the metal bars. That was sort of, in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have done that, but we didn't realise quite how much of the planet we were bypassing by doing that.
Yeah, I guess it's a give or take.
Yeah, so a little bit of regret there, but oh well.
Yeah, and I created the new like the uranium processing, and that was intended to use for the drinks. You guys could use that to create the drinks locally for the biolabs when you set them up on Novice.
Right. Yes. I think. Oh, okay. So we could do it.
They give like they're quicker and they have higher probabilities than the normal ones. I don't know if you guys actually ended up using them or just used the normal Covrex.
The Covrex process. I think no. It looks like normal Covrex process we're using over here at the moment.
Yeah, that's 60 seconds. The other one's 10, but you have to have like the fluorine barrels in them.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, nice. Yeah, we haven't done the next stage of that. Just this stage with fluorine barrels. So maybe that's something we'll look into, because we sort of want to try and play with all of the different things that the planet gives us, but on the flip side, sometimes we don't know what we've missed out. So yeah, having these things pointed out to us is definitely appreciated.
Yeah, and like the fluorine is an Aquilo thing, but if you want to use the biolabs now and you want to use that recipe, maybe growing the fluorine tree on Novus for that specific purpose doesn't break the whole game.
Yeah.
It's just you to make the juice for the biolabs.
Yeah, that's possible. Although I think at the moment we're planning to just import the juice. We've got in our rocket silo area over here. We've got 2 rockets set up ready to ship it out as soon as we want it. We're quite happy with large amounts of logistics carrying stuff around. I guess because our previous big stream was space exploration with Crethor 2, we're quite used to doing the interplanetary logistics, and that just seems sort of we're happy shipping stuff around. So, although sometimes with the spoilage times it can be a little bit awkward, but given this is a 10-hour spoilage, I don't think it's not a problem with the isotope punch.
And the trees also give pollution absorption 10 times more than a normal tree.
Okay, that could be
So
quite
you
a nice
could,
bonus.
you could line the wall of the perimeter with, the
Yeah,
glow in the dark arcane trees if you wanted.
yeah, we've got a little bit of that at the moment, but it's not really absorbing anything like enough pollution. The clouds go way out beyond the factory, way out beyond the factory. But we
That's
tried.
also a UPS thing too,
I
because
suppose
all
yes.
that pollution is counted every, tick or whatever it's set
Yeah,
up to do.
I guess, and we do have some people whose computers starting to struggle a bit.
So,
Now,
I added a lot of little like hidden things like that, where you can use the trees for pollution or
yeah,
things of that nature.
that feels like almost a nice reason to have them, even if we don't use them for resources, because we could definitely do with something that helps pull the pollution in a little bit on Novice.
And you wanted to keep it, balanced, just use the wood tree. There's a wood tree.
Oh, I suppose yes. We could use the Foliax wood tree instead of the Norvis wood tree. Yeah, these guys.
Yeah, I don't know if the pollution's in the tooltip.
5% per harvest. No, sorry, produces 5 per harvest, but it doesn't say how much it absorbs. I don't think. No.
If you alt click it, it should tell you in the Factoriopedia. Yeah, but they are.
It might be because we don't have biters
garbage
on this planet, so it's so there's no pollution here. There's no pollution on this planet, probably because we have biters. We didn't realise there's supposed to be biters on it.
There was just biters and pentapods, but now there's plant spirits, little wisps, little glowing orbs that shoot lasers.
That does sound cool. We'll definitely have to try and find a way to look at that. Whether it's in the Planetary Pioneers run or from playing it separately. Somehow we'll have to have a look at those because they sound really interesting.
Yeah, and I made them the first 2 tiers. You can walk up to them, but if you take like 3 steps away, they ignore you and just walk off. They don't even chase you. But the later ones, I balanced them around the arcane tower, so they'll be just out of range of each other, and the plant spirit will be able to shoot your stuff.
Oh,
it's
right.
they're like right at the range of each other, so it's kind of funny. They'll destroy things, but then the towers will catch up to them.
Okay, that sounds suitably dangerous.
And they hurt too. So I walked out there to like check on them, and they almost killed me with the mech suit on. So.
Okay, well we'll add them in with some trepidation. Did you get any sort of feedback or on any unexpected outcomes or sort of edge cases, weird interactions with other mods, or unexpected feedback, or things that just took you a bit by surprise when players discovered them?
Not really. Somebody mentioned that the glass bottles could be made in the Castra foundries because they have a throw effect. So that was kind of funny.
Oh, right.
Because Castra, builds weapons and stuff, and
a weapon
bottles.
If you throw it.
Yeah, but the bottle does like 1 damage when you throw it. It's just or whatever it does. Yeah, so that was funny.
Yeah, I guess it gives you a production boost and a quality boost as well, which may or may not be useful. Probably mostly be frustrating, I suspect. Did you have any special considerations for multiplayer?
Yeah, no, I haven't had any complaints about really anything not working. It's just balance and scope that were the big issues.
Have you considered much on to do with compatibility with other mods?
I don't think so. I mean, people have come up to me with suggestions, and yeah, I don't know. I haven't really gotten any comments about that. I made the rum for Pelagos, but Pelagos, as you guys call it.
That at the moment.
Oh, you actually are. That's funny.
We're trying to research it, but we haven't actually got round to bringing science packs between the 2 areas because, of course, this is the one that requires both the Pelagos science pack and the Foliax science pack, and the 2 just don't meet anywhere, so we haven't been able. So it's just sitting there waiting to be researched, and until we move 10 packs from one place to another.
Yeah,
just haven't done it yet. Absolutely trivial. We just haven't done it yet. So.
Yeah, and I've been trying to reach out with other modders to like Planet modders, try to get them to like come up with a drink or something, along those lines to make compatible.
Yeah, it's a really nice idea because it's fun when they work together. But also, I can imagine that's quite hard to do partly because everyone has their own ideas and their own wishes for how they want their mod to feel, and also just the effort and logistics of working together with somebody else to put something combined in, and then not breaking it with one of your upgrades.
I have a lot of talks with Talendar about balance and stuff, and I did change. He did talk to me about my fluid energy values because I had just set them to 3 megajoules, and that was way out of scope of what he had, so I reined those back in. Like the catalyst has a fuel value, and the brimfruit paste has a fuel value, but I reined those back considerably at his request.
Right, yeah, I guess you can if you can just go across the board and divide everything by 10, then it makes no difference to your planet's balance, but it makes but it means
Yeah,
if
so
you start
you
importing
could
things.
bring a brim fruit plant over to his planet and just power everything with one fruit forever. It's just, that's ridiculous. So
Yeah, that makes
fix
sense.
it.
It's the sort of thing we've been trying to avoid. We don't want to break the intended experience of other planets too much,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
if we'd noticed something like that, and it could have been quite tempting. So we've been talking a little bit about the various settings that the mod has to tweak how the options work. Are there any that you feel that players should know about before they get started on this planet? Things that maybe where they would want to change the default particularly.
I have enemies, the new enemies, and that's set and enabled now. I have the Prometheum chain you can turn off, so you can't make the Prometheum. And I have a couple routes, but I think that's all I have.
I think that's probably a good thing. Keeping the number of options down makes sense, because there's a lot of people don't know what the options mean until they've played through the planet. By which point it's a bit too late unless they're going to play it several times over. So that's it.
Yeah, and the enemies is kind of, people like them or don't, so that's always good to have.
Yes.
I think, unless they're part of the gameplay, but they're not. They're just an addition on this planet. There's no capture spawners or anything. So
I think I probably know the answer to this one already. But would you say the planet is intended to be completed in just one visit, or is it one like where you're probably going to end up going back to do some upgrades later on?
it's just one visit, but like I said, we have the tower exports and the biochamber exports now. The arcane towers, when I set them up on my playthrough for testing, I had to make 50 farms for the arcane cube trees.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they take 2,000 cubes a piece, and the item lasts 10 hours. So
Yeah, so I can see especially if you want to start using them on mass on spaceships and things, then yes, you're going to need a lot of the arcane cubes
Yeah.
being made. Yeah, I think because we didn't go use any of the arcane burner machines, we do have arcane cubes. They're being turned into gears and other bits and pieces as intermediates, but we haven't been using them as a fuel, so we've not needed all that many of them. So yeah, but yeah, we're very very open to expanding the plantations out if we need to, and the way we set it up, it's going to be relatively easy to do those expansions. So yeah, we're welcome that sort of change.
yeah, and that gives me the Foliax and export, and that's keeps it relevant. So it's not just a one and done.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And it's it's like the bio lab where you research enough and then it becomes capable and powerful, but you have to put the work in. I'm really happy with that, the way it turned out, like looks wise and performance and like the mechanics of it. And that was a lot of back and forth with a few people, but we figured it out.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. I'm looking forward to having a play with it and trying it out. So we've talked about graphics quite a lot. Is there any custom sound work on this planet, whether it's music or audio things for various buildings or anything like that?
I didn't make anything myself. It's all kit bashed, but I just went through all the Factorio game music and picked a few tracks that I liked and added that for the music. But the like trees exploding and the like arcane explosion that comes off of it and the EM sounds that you use, like that's all like kit bash from other things. But I try to go with like a an electric kind of when those things are harvested, they kind of explode, and the new enemies, they explode with that. And there's a couple other things that I use that blue kind of pop.
This is a little bit of sort of reusing the existing sounds, but making them sort of a bit more specific for what you've got on this planet. That makes sense.
I have a vision, but I don't have the skill, so I just modify other people's work.
That's fair. I'm terrible. I don't know anything about audio editing. So, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the way we played it. Did we approach it in roughly the way you'd expect someone to attack this planet?
No, because you made the wild bus, and that's just great. Watching you guys build this thing was awesome, but I'm like, why are they doing this? But yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. Like, I actually enjoyed it because you did it different than, like I said, I just like local belts and bots. That's kind of my thing. That's why I have the cargo improvement for the robots, so they can carry more. So that's one of my upgrades on the planet. But that was for that, so because bots are inefficient because the belts can carry so much. But if you increase what a bot can carry to 12 or 15, then that makes a significant difference.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to how you feel Factorio should be played, and should is doing a lot of work there, because with it being a sandbox game, it's very, very open-ended. That's the whole point, all that sort of thing. But yeah, I like the belt systems. I feel that it's a bit
cool.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. So.
Yeah, a lot of it comes. You get used to it.
But it does look glorious when you're done with it.
Yeah.
So.
we have a sort of standard bus layout where you just whack the undergrounds through, and once you've done it a few times, it's second nature just to pull a resource off the bus. So you get used to it, I guess, is what I'm saying.
And it is cool in this planet because there's so many colors and it looks awesome.
Yeah, so many different colours of things. It was interesting keeping track of what everything was, but we managed to mostly work it out eventually. There's three things that are sort of vaguely whitish,
whites.
I think, but
Yeah.
mostly it's pretty good and fairly easy to tell what's what.
Yeah, I try to get the colors to be distinct. I had the seeds were all like monotone colored, and I had to like go through each one and adjust them to make them different from other ones.
Yeah.
Like the oil one has a little bit of sheen on it now, and the scrap one's a Nerf ball. So like it's just and all the pods. Like I went and changed. They used to have the plant matter was all just colored the bacteria stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I actually went online and like found pictures of like a pod and some coral and some barbs and edited those down to make all those to differentiate them.
Yeah, I think I'd say you've done a very good job. They all are different colours, so you can tell what's what without too much difficulty, or at least you can narrow it down to one or two and then work it out a bit more carefully from there, which is good enough, to be honest.
Yeah, and like the uranium and the holmium, they have lightning in them, and just little details. That's what I liked about the details, like the seeds. I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a little lightning bolt in the pink and the green ones.
Can't see it very well, but
yeah. And all the towers are colored when they plant to the seed that they're using. I don't know if you noticed that too.
I didn't notice that, but they're very, very hidden behind the trees over here. So there's some. Yeah, I can see the blue in that one. Yes.
Yeah.
And orange in
there.
And
the arcane towers reset to like a light blue color instead of the muddy color that those start off.
Yeah, I noticed the arcane towers were a different color, but we didn't.
No, but I meant like the light in the center is like a light blue glow when it's idle.
That sounds nice.
That's just
using the magic,
the graphic stuff.
Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, do you think we've built to a reasonable size and scale on this planet based on what you'd expect a finished Foliax to look like?
Yeah, it's fairly. A lot of them are like 100, 200. It's not that intense. Once you get to like the infinites, if you do any of the infinites, that'll take a considerable upgrade to production.
Yeah, I guess we've
there's
got
a few infinites. You can increase the circuit boards, the Foliax circuit board recipes.
Okay.
Production for that. There's a Foliax scrap production. Those are just the Foliax versions. So you can do the greens and the reds, which you can't do in the base game because they just do the blues.
Yeah, so we've got a buffer over here, which is about 40,000 of each science pack. So the idea being, assuming we alternate between a Foliax research and a normal research, the whole system will probably be able to. We'll have time to catch up between doing sciences, and that was
because it goes pretty quick. Like they'll go. I think I'm at like 10, and it's already at like 30 million or something. It's just
okay. That's some big numbers.
So you'll have to scale up if you want to do the infinites. But other than that, for the first playthrough, it looks good.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some of the infinites and see when they start to get silly. We're doing 15,000 science per minute on this planet at the moment, apparently.
Yeah, all the recipes are a standard like 10 seconds, I think. They're not 30 seconds or 60 seconds like the regular game is.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I noticed the difference in the speed that the Foliax researchers were done at versus the other researchers. And yes, but a big part of that is they're 6 times faster because they're 10 seconds per rather than the other ones are typically 60 seconds. So yeah, much faster because of that. But yeah, that's fine. It just means
so you just got to make more.
Make more, yes.
Yeah, and it's all everything grows on trees, so. It's just scaled.
Yeah, it's just scaling up and making sure your belts are fast enough if you're using belts.
Which you can make here.
So one of the questions I tend to ask in these sort of interviews is do you think we missed out on something we should have looked at? Now there's the whole arcane burner phase, which I'm very aware that we missed out on, and I do want to have a look at some point in the future. Probably as one of my solo Wednesday streams. But is there anything else that you think we've missed out on that we should have done while we were going through the planet? And I should probably keep an eye out for when I play it again.
Your low density you never used, the pipes you never used. You did a lot of converting the lava, and all that's gone in the rewrite, by the way. You can still make the lava, but none of the it's all the aluminum and tin is used for.
Okay. So yeah, we decided the easiest way to make low density structures was from lava using the Vulcanus way. I think if I'd known there was or if I'd noticed rather if there was a Foliax way, then I probably would have tried to use it. But apparently I didn't wasn't paying attention properly. Plastic, aluminium, and tin. Fair enough. So yeah, we should have done it that way. Assuming I play all the way through Foliax next time, I will definitely make sure I use the proper recipes.
In the rewrite, I redid how plant research is done, and I created 2 materials, and one material takes like energy type plants, like 5 plant parts, to make a low density adjacent item that spoils into low density structures.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
And then I added a foundational material, which is another low density adjacent one that takes like tungsten and iron and all that, and that also spoils in an hour into low density. But those, instead of whatever they had before, I think I had just some random materials in there. But now you create things for plants, make a material that spoils in an hour, and then use that for the research.
Ah, okay.
And then they spoil themselves, so you could just keep making those, put them in a bin, and you wouldn't even have to make low density the other way. Kind of like, a side thing.
Yeah, so you have a byproduct that's actually useful. And then you have to worry about balancing and so on, or possibly recycling. That sounds fun.
Yeah, because a lot of, I kept track of when you called things silly, and I was like, yeah, that's probably true. I probably should change,
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of opinions. So some of them are probably valid, some of them probably less so. I guess as long as you're taking it as constructive criticism and useful and and sort of appropriate, then
I love
that's good.
I love brainstorming and feedback. I get frustrated, not frustrated, but I get sad when it goes 2 weeks without people giving me feedback on my mods, because I kind of like the feedback and then implementing something.
If someone's being sort of constructive and helpful, then it's always nice to hear because it can give you good ideas. I know what you mean.
Yeah, if you play the rewrite, you'll see, you'll know like all the points.
It'll be, oh yes, I know why this change was made. That was something we were.
Yeah. It's cool now, and you can't slap down foundries and use them for tier 1s anymore. You have to use the arcane
That's good.
thing.
Yeah, we probably should have looked into that a bit more and realised that it wasn't the expected way to do it. Yeah, we just went in and looked at the recipes and went, oh, here's this is how you do it. Fine, we'll do that. So, do you feel that Foliax is now basically finished? I mean, there may be balance or tweaks or little upgrades for those sort of things, but do you feel that the planet is essentially finished now and that you're going to go on to other things?
Yeah, I've been working on Space is Fake for the last month, making mod compats and stuff. So
okay.
Yeah, I found, like yesterday, I found a locale that wasn't, because I redid the locale folder and I found a thing that wasn't, and then the new low density things I was telling you about didn't have crafting tents. So I don't know if you noticed, but all the machines that make things for Foliax, if they have smoke or like color masks, they're all colored appropriately.
That's good. I have noticed that in many things. I'm
like
not sure.
Bio chambers have it.
Probably a good one. None of these are running. Oh, here we go. There's fish here, which have gone green. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, these ones over here are a different shade of green because they're producing the science packs. And it's the sort of thing I really like to see when and it's sometimes it's noticeable when it's missing, and sometimes I notice it because it looks really cool. But a lot of the time it's just sort of, it's part of making everything look consistent and right and good, and so you almost don't notice it except when there's something wrong with it. So yeah, I'm very glad they're there.
Yeah, so that's the only little things I've been doing lately on that, just fixing little minor details that I missed. But yeah, I have another planet idea in my head, but I don't know how to quite implement it at the moment. But I also have Obsidiax, so that's growing rocks, and that's more straightforward. You just grow rocks and they turn into plates, but you can't unlock them in the base game.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. You'll have to let us know when it's finished, and we'll add it to the mod.
Oh, that's done too. You get seeds, rock seeds from lava. It's kind of like a lava world. So you pump lava out, make the seeds, and then you plant the rocks, and then you harvest the rocks, and you do kind of like you do in Foliax, where you have a few materials you put together, and it'll make plates.
Okay.
And nice. Then they have foundry upgrades, which are smaller foundries and faster. And then there's 2 foundry because it's like a fire and ice kind of theme. So we have the normal foundry that also does furnace recipes, and then there's a cryogenic foundry that does cryogenic and chemical recipes.
Right, yeah, sounds interesting. We'll definitely have to check that one out when we're
that's my other planet.
Okay, so coming up to the end now. So, are there any other mods you'd like to recommend, other than your own ones you feel that are either really good, big conversions, or perhaps quality of life mods that you can't live without?
There's a lot of stuff you guys missed because you don't play with Crethor 2 Space Down. There's new trees and new things to make their stuff. So that's in Foliax, but obviously it doesn't show if you don't have it loaded. But I play that with everything. Like I always play with that mod pack.
Okay.
I like they have upgraded beacons and upgraded machines and faster belts, and they have incredibly faster stack inserters, and so that's fun. But you know, I'm pretty basic. I don't really play with a lot of crazy going on.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. Sounds interesting. And next question: where can the viewers find your work, and how can they how can they contact you if they want to? Is the answer just going to be a look on the Factorio mod portal?
You can find me on the Factorio mod portal, but I also have my Discord link there, and I'm also on the Foundry Discord, which is where a lot of the Planet modders are at.
And is there anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank God and my mother, and I mean, Talendar's been a lot of help, the mod creator for Pelagos. We have a lot of chats.
Yeah, it's
Check
nice
out Pelagos, which you guys are playing right now, and he's creating a crazy new Foundry-based sea planet, so that should be interesting.
There's always new planets to check out. We're never going to finish Planetary Pioneers. It's going to be just a mod. We keeps expanding. We play it forever.
I'll never get to Aquilo.
No. All right. Okay. Right. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been great talking to you, and I hope it's been fun for you as well. I hope everyone who's listening has enjoyed this as well, and looks forward to checking out all your mods.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. And thank you to you as well for watching. We'll be continuing the Planetary Pioneers stream on Monday at 7:30 PM UK time, a couple of planets further on from Foliax, and I'll be back for a solo stream on Wednesday. These videos come out every Thursday and Friday, so please make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of them. Thanks once again, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.